Check.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Huddle Hub Podcast. My name is Metal Mike, and today we are going to talk about week 2 of the preseason, which is wrapping up tonight. We are also going to talk about the news coming out of the NFL. We also got some news coming out of college football. You may hear some feedback because I got to check my settings. I had some computer issues. Normally, we're live at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sundays, but I had to fully replace my computer today. Yes. Give me 1 second. Okay. So, just wanted to make sure you guys can hear me nice, loud, and clear, and everything is set up and good to go for y'all. So, yes, I had to replace my computer today. Why? Because my old one got ruined. It stinks that happened, but it did. It did. And yeah, lucky enough, a computer was available out there for me to go purchase. And yeah, now I got a new one, and I'm happy that up and running after a very stressful evening last night and this morning. I was 9 p.m. last night till about 5 o'clock this morning. I was stressing. Sucked. But I'm happy to be here. So let's talk some football. We got some breaking news. A trade has just went through about 15 minutes ago. The Philadelphia Eagles have made a trade with the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans will be receiving tight end Harrison Bryant and a 5th-round draft pick. And in return, the Philadelphia Eagles get a 6th-round draft pick and wide receiver John Mechie. Huge trade here. It's been 15 minutes since this trade has happened. And I could just see it now. I could just see the Eagles haters now. Wondering, why do the Eagles need this? Why do the Eagles need to go out and trade for a key wide receiver from another team? Okay. And you're probably thinking, what do you mean key wide receiver? His stats don't show key wide receiver. Well, he could be a key wide receiver. He could be. John Mechie in his career, 40 catches, 412 yards, and a touchdown. Pretty much a slot guy. Slot guy. Right? And you're thinking, the Eagles traded for traded last year with the Commanders to bring in a slot guy. Yeah, maybe. There is nothing wrong with trying to build your depth for a team. It just so happens that the Eagles are very deep in depth right now. In every position. Every position. Now, yesterday, yes, against the Browns, they lost to the Browns in preseason. Who cares? It's preseason. The only thing that matters in preseason is what the players are doing on the field, their performance to make the team. The scoreboard necessarily doesn't matter. Now, there are a lot of people out there that feel like the scoreboard matters in preseason. There are, and that's okay. That's okay. Nothing wrong with caring whether your team scores more points than the other, even in a preseason exhibition. It's all about the performance of the player on the field. And the Eagles are very deep in depth right now. When you look at their depth chart and you look at everything they have right now on offense and defense, it's like, man, this team is geared up to repeat this year. And I'm not just saying that because I'm an Eagles fan. It's you look at it and it's pretty much there. It's in front of everybody's face. The depth is crazy. They are the most complete built football team right now in the NFL. And the other day I had a conversation with Phil and Cam, my two co-hosts over on the Boom on Wednesday nights over on Rivet City Radio's Twitch and Off the Top Media's YouTube channel. Go check it out. We talk AEW Dynamite right after the show. We were talking about this, and I said Eagles are number 1, the Bills are number 2, the Ravens are number 3 as far as built teams in this league. And would I like to make a top 5 or a top 10 or just give you guys the full 32 as far as rankings and how much teams are built? I would love to do that. I would. And have I thought about doing it? Yeah, I have. But I didn't. And for the next 2 weeks after today, not going to have the time to do it. Why? Because next week, me and John are going to spotlight every AFC division in our spotlight segment. And then the week after is our prediction show. Because it is literally the last Sunday before kickoff, before the Eagles and the Cowboys kick off on Thursday night. And then the Chiefs and Chargers out in Sao Paulo, Brazil on Friday night. So would I have time to sit here and do all 32 teams? No. Would I be able to do maybe a top 5 or a top 10? Yeah, but you already have my top 3. Eagles, Bills, Ravens. Those are your top 3 most complete built teams in the NFL right now. Now this move for John Mechie, I can hear it right now. Why do the Eagles have to do this? Because there's nothing wrong with having depth. And the Eagles have the room to do this. And there's plenty of other teams in the league right now that have the room to do this. It's just whether they choose to do it or not. Look at Cleveland right now. Cleveland has a quarterback situation, a quarterback battle happening right now. Okay, Dylan Gabriel, by the way, looked great yesterday. Had a peak performance. Jackson Dart out in New York, he's killing it. It's crazy how much Jackson Dart is killing it in his first 2 games in preseason. So the Giants, I think, have a very bright future. I apologize for the dogs barking. A lot going on today. But the Giants, very bright future with Jackson Dart. I could see it. Jackson Dart's having a hell of a preseason. That was a smart pickup by the Giants when it came to the draft and moving into the first round for him. A lot of rookie quarterbacks are having a great preseason right now. But a lot of teams are with their depth at certain positions. Do they necessarily need it? Probably not. But the Eagles right now, they are setting themselves up to have the depth. And this move for John Mechie, it was a good move, I think. I like the move. I like that John Mechie's an Eagle. And we'll see what he does. We'll definitely have to see what he does. But that was the breaking news coming out of literally what happened 20 minutes ago. Jahan Dotson was who the Eagles traded for last year, by the way, for their slot position out of Washington. Didn't have a bad year last year either. Had a good Super Bowl. But again, I wish I could have a top 5 or a top 10 for you guys right now, but I don't. And a lot of people would probably argue with me on my even top 3 as far as complete built teams in the NFL. But can you argue that the Eagles are number 1? That's the question. And again, I try and be as unbiased as I can be on this show. So when you hear me talk positive about the Eagles, by all means, don't think my Eagles goggles are on. Please. Let's get into the news of everything that's happening. The top 25, college football top 25 came out, the preseason top 25. Basically what we're going to be looking at when the season kicks off next week. At number 1, Texas. Number 2, Penn State. Number 3, Ohio State. Number 4, Clemson. Number 5, Georgia. When you look at the top 5, 2 Big Ten teams, an ACC, and 2 SEC teams. Okay? Notre Dame, Oregon, Alabama, LSU, and Miami, that's 6-10. Arizona State, Illinois, South Carolina, Michigan, Florida, that's 11-15. SMU, Kansas State, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, and Indiana, that's 16-20. And then Ole Miss, Iowa State, Texas Tech, Tennessee, and Boise State to wrap up the top 25. Okay, as far as conferences, the ACC has 3 teams in the top 25 this year to start the season. The American Conference has 0. The Big 12 has 4 teams in the top 25. The Big 10 has 6. 6 teams from the Big 10 in the top 25. Conference USA, MAC, Pac-12, and Sun Belt have 0. Independent and Mountain West both have 1. And the top 25 as far as teams being in it, the SEC has 10 teams in the top 25 to start the season. Can you argue now that the SEC is probably the biggest conference in college football? No, because they are. You look at this top 25, and it is insane of the powerhouse teams that are in this top 25. Texas, Georgia, Alabama, LSU, South Carolina, Florida, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Tennessee, powerhouse schools. This is a pretty good-looking top 25, though. I like it. And I'm excited to see, what my Penn State Nittany Lions do with that number 2 spot, because I have a good feeling, a very, very good feeling that they are going to be aiming for that number 1 spot as soon as possible. It just all depends on what the Texas Longhorns do. One thing that surprised me is Ohio State's not number 1 due to the fact that they won the national championship. Why you don't have the national champion as the number 1 team in the nation baffles me. I get it. You're trying to go off records as far as what they did in the regular season, how they did in their conference. They lost to 1 Big Ten team. Really? But because Texas went undefeated. I believe they went undefeated, or they had 1 loss last year. Who knows? They're number 1. Ohio State just went into the national title game and just, walloped Notre Dame. But they're not number 1, guys. Why? But some news coming out of college football. Trey McNutt, the safety from Oregon, he's supposed to be a freshman phenom. Well, he had a season-ending broken leg injury. Tough for this kid. Because I looked up some of this kid's statistics. I looked up on why they're calling him a phenom. And I'm going to say this right now. This is rough. It is a rough start to his collegiate career. Rough start to his collegiate career. Jurion Dickey, the wide receiver from Oregon. Oregon had a lot of news coming out of this week. I'm just going to say that right now. Was I able to cover it all? No. Was I going to cover it all? Maybe. But we're only here for 60 minutes. And there's a lot of news coming out of the NFL that we got to cover as well. So Jurion Dickey, the wide receiver out of Oregon, he was suspended indefinitely. Indefinitely suspended for 2 reasons. Number one, his lack of respect to the coaching staff. That should be number one on the list. You know why? Because your coaching staff is your coaching staff. Your coaching staff are your leaders to help you get to where you want to be and succeeding after your collegiate career, whether you go to the NFL or not. And Trey McNutt, I'm Jurion Dickey. Get your stuff together, kid. Because this is not cool. Oregon was literally a powerhouse team last year, had an opportunity to run the gamut as far as going to the national. So you were favored to go to the national championship. You are favored again this year to go to the national championship. And you're only hurting your team. I'm just saying. But the number 2 thing is he shows up late. Is not on time. The 2 biggest things, respecting and being on time. And he's doing neither of them. Does he deserve to be suspended? Yeah. I'd suspend him. Sure would. I do want to look at this kid's stats. Because if his stats are astronomically, ridiculously good, this is going to hurt Oregon very bad. He's a sophomore. He has 1 catch for 7 yards. No touchdowns. Still hurting your team by not being there. I'm just saying. John Mateer, quarterback of Oklahoma, he denies his gambling allegations. Now, he has some gambling allegations against him. He was caught with a suspicious screenshot and said it's all a part of a joke. Now, as we know, college football players, they are part of the NIL deals now. They get offers from companies, businesses, sponsorships, all that stuff, and they are making millions of dollars doing it. But the one thing they are not allowed to do is gamble. Just like when you're in the NFL, you can't gamble. It's against the rules. Well, he had a screenshot of gambling, got caught, and now is saying it's all part of a joke. Ha, ha, ha. Denying allegations of gambling. I want to ask you guys this question. Now, I'm not going to sit here and point fingers or say whether this is, whether he's right or wrong or whether it's true or false that that the allegations are legit. But the kid's saying it's part of a joke. Who takes screenshots of gambling stuff and says it's part of a joke? I never heard of this. And if this is something real, I want you guys to message me on social media, over on Instagram, X, or TikTok, or Snapchat if you choose so, Metal Mike 714, and let me know if there is jokes out there when it comes to gambling. And I'm not talking about the lottery. I'm not talking about scratch-offs. None of that stuff where people used to set up, videos of, I won the lottery and, messed around with people. None of that. We are in the day and age of social media and screenshot cell phones, all that stuff. I want to know if somebody or you do it yourself use gambling as a joke. And then get back to me on that. Because I've never heard of it. Now, again, back in the day when I was younger, people used to, video the lottery and try and set it up to, set up somebody's ticket and be like, oh my God, you won. This is awesome. You're a millionaire. Just to kind of like mess with people. But realistically, you got to think, is the lottery really gambling? I mean, yeah, you're giving, $1 or $2 for a ticket with numbers on it, and you're trying to win more money than you gave in, all that stuff. But we're talking like casino stuff. Cards, table games. Come on now. It was a joke. Michigan is getting penalized over $20 million in fines. for signal stealing. Now, if you don't know anything about this, this is a huge, huge deal. This came out the other day, and I had to immediately read this and see what this was all about. Okay? Now, I'm going to pull up. Normally, I don't mess around on my cell phone while I'm live because I like to try and pay attention to you guys and try and talk to you guys and not necessarily, pay attention to my phone and everything. But you know what I mean. Okay? Now, I'm trying to find the article that I had pulled up the other day that I originally had set up to talk to you guys. Oh, here we go. Here it is. Found it. Okay. Now, this is the stuff, okay? The ruling by the Committee of Infractions can be viewed here below. Full list of penalties for the Wolverines. 4 years of probation, okay? Their financial penalty is $50,000 of fines plus 10% of the budget for the football program. So say the football program is getting, $300,000. $50,000 of that needs to go and pay in the fines plus 10% of the earnings. So you got to think that's close to almost $100,000 if they were to get $300,000. Just saying, close to almost $300,000 or close to $100,000 in fines that they have to pay because they were stealing signs. Okay. A fine equivalent to the anticipated loss of all postseason competition revenue sharing associated with the 2025-2026 football season. Okay. So it's this. So if they would make the playoffs, the postseason, then they pretty much are getting fined the same amount of earnings for postseason. So $50,000 fine, 10%. There's the equivalency. There's also the equivalency for scholarship awards. So any scholarship awards. This is nuts. 25% reduction in football official visits during the 2025-2026 season. So if they go out and scout in your hometown a player, say they have the availability of 30 visitors, okay? That now gets cut down to like in half. They're only allowed to have like 15. Because the money's not there to bring the visitors in. Like, oh, we got to pay for airfare if they're able to drive, gas, fuel, food, boarding, housing for the time that they're going to be there for the visit, all that stuff. Money's cut in half. Damn. Michigan has it rough for the next 4 years. I'm saying that right now. Okay. Now, there's a couple of coaches that are going to be facing some stuff. Jim Harbaugh, a 10-year show cause order restricting him from all athletically related activities during the show cause period, which will begin on August 7th, 2028 at the conclusion of his 4-year show cause order from previous causes. Okay. So basically, Jim Harbaugh, once he's done in the NFL, say the Chargers say, hey, kick the cans, dude. You're done. You're not getting us to the playoffs. You didn't get to the Super Bowl, nothing like that. See ya. This guy basically is prohibited from getting back in college football until at least 2028. That sucks. So say the Chargers make the drastic decision. Say they go 6-11 this year. And they say, you know what, Harbaugh, we gave you 2 years. You didn't do shit for us. See ya. Kick it. He has to wait till 2028 to go back to the college level. Now, he could coach in the NFL. So another NFL team can come along and say, hey, we want you, Jim. Okay, so he'd be safe. But me and John talked about this the other day. There is a shift in the NFL where teams are starting to commit to their coaches more. Just like Brian Daboll over out in New York. Should have been gone this year, right? Nope. Giants said we are committed to him. So even if he has a bad season this year, he is a Giant for the next 3 years. Teams are committing to their coaches. You're going to find out why I say that in a minute, too, when we get to the NFL news. Other coaches that are facing some stuff, Sharon Moore, Connor Stallions, Denard Robinson, all facing stuff with this whole deal with Michigan. There's so much to get into with this Michigan ordeal and very little time to get into it because I'm only going to be here for 60 minutes. Basically just came on to give you guys the news, talk some preseason week 2, and get out of here. That's it. Needed to give you guys some content today. I apologize for, I apologize that it's so late in the day that we're live, but I had to give you guys something. Let's get into the NFL news. Before we get into the NFL news, we're going to take about a 30-second break for you guys to check out the social media stuff. So make sure you guys are heading over to all the Huddle Hub Podcast social medias right now on X, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch. Twitch, the Huddle Hub Podcast. All the links to all the other social medias are in our bio on the Twitch channel. So you go into our profile, you'll go all the way to the bottom, and all of the links are down there for you guys to go to TikTok, to go to X, to go to YouTube, at the Huddle Hub Pod if you want to do the search. It's all up to you. Our logo is right in the profile picture. I know there's a bunch of Huddle Hub podcast profiles out there. I searched it up the other day. I think other people tried and attempted to do a Huddle Hub podcast a while back, created a profile, and never did anything with it. So our profile picture is very standout-ish. It's right there for you guys. Just click that follow button. On YouTube, you got to hit subscribe to follow. You don't have to pay anything. No money coming out of your pocket. Just hit that subscribe button to follow. We'd definitely appreciate it as we get ready to build this channel here for the 2025 season and beyond. John is off today, guys. John is hanging out with some family. So it is just me here today, and that's all good, man. John's taking some time to himself, and that's all good. He'll be back next week as we finish off our Spotlight segment with all the AFC divisions. All the AFC divisions in the spotlight next week. And then the following week on August 31st will be our prediction show. We are going to predict how every team is going to do in 2025. We're even going to do the playoffs and who we think will ultimately be raising the Lombardi Trophy in February. So come join us for the next 2 weeks. It's going to be exciting. And then we're going to give you guys our predictions for week 1 as well. Who we think is going to win and lose what games. So we are really getting ready here for the 2025 NFL season. It's going to be an exciting one. I'm so excited. So, guys, let's get into the news for the NFL. John Gruden. You remember Coach John Gruden? Well, he is cleared and good to come back to coaching football. And he had mentioned in an interview that he wants to coach on the collegiate level, specifically for an SEC team. He also made a prediction that the Buccaneers were going to win Super Bowl 60. And I'll say this right now, Coach Gruden. I honestly, with the way the Buccaneers are built right now and the way that team is, would not be surprised if they're one of the teams raising the Lombardi this year. Because the Buccaneers are a good football team. And they have the capabilities of doing so. So would it surprise me? No. Nope. Do I agree with John Gruden? No, because again, like I said, the Eagles, I think, are going to repeat ultimately. But the Buccaneers have the capabilities of winning Super Bowl 60. I do. There's a couple teams out there that I do think have the capabilities of doing it. And the Buccaneers are one of them. So, who knows? But John Gruden wants to get back into coaching. He wants to coach on the collegiate level, specifically for an SEC team. Maybe we'll find out in the coming weeks what team he would like to coach. because that's not out there. That's not any information. So we'll have to see. Landon Dickerson, offensive lineman from the Eagles, he was carted off the field last Sunday during an open practice in front of 50,000 fans. He will be getting, or already has gotten, a procedure on his meniscus, but will be ready for week 1. It was a minor procedure. He's going to be out of the rest of the training camp, but will be on the field for week 1's game against the Cowboys on Thursday night. So to kick off the NFL season. Brandon Ayuk, the wide receiver from the 49ers, he's expected to return in week 6. He's dealing with a knee injury right now, and Coach Shanahan is thinking week 6 is the target time for him to come back and be on the field. So that is a huge hit, a huge hit for the 49ers, especially with Deebo Samuels being gone, Christian McCaffrey trying to get back on the field. This is a huge hit for the 49ers. Huge hit. So we'll have to see how the Niners do from week 1 through week 5 without Brandon Ayuk. Now, they did look good yesterday against the Raiders in the preseason game. The 49ers did end up beating the Raiders 22-19. But that was a pretty good game. I listened to it, and it was pretty good. So we'll have to see. Alexander Madison from the Dolphins, the running back from the Dolphins, he has a season-ending neck injury this past week. That's rough. Rondell Moore, wide receiver from the Vikings, he's also going to be out for the season with a knee injury. He also missed the 2024 NFL season with a knee injury. So he came back, got into camp, everything like that, suffered another knee injury, which ended his 2025 season. These injuries are insane this year. Insane. But Alexander Madison from the Dolphins, Rondell Moore from the Vikings, both going to be out for the season. James Cook, running back from the Bills, he returned to practice on Monday after his hold-in. And then on, I believe it was Wednesday, he signed his 4-year, $48 million extension. $30 million of that is guaranteed. So James Cook will be a Bill for at least the next 4 years. Congratulations, James Cook. Congratulations to the Bills fans. Got yourself a pretty legit running back. And Frank Gore Jr. possibly being the backup out there in Buffalo, looking good. Like I said, Buffalo, their second most built team in the NFL. This team is looking good. So, I mean, holy crap. Jordan Love, quarterback of the Packers, he underwent a procedure on his throwing thumb, but he will be ready for week 1. So, Packers fans, have no fear. Jordan Love will be there for week 1. Okay. Aaron Rodgers, quarterback of the Steelers, he doesn't like the new helmets. He said that they look like spaceships. Now, when you look at how helmets are made today, okay, you got the Revo Speed Flexes, the Revo 360s. You got a lot of different helmet shells out there to help protect players, right? And I understand some of them look really ridiculous. Okay? All right, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I get it. But just think about the job that helmet is doing for you at the end of the day, okay? If you don't like the way it's designed, then pick a helmet that you do like the design of. I don't know what to tell you. But, you know, so stupid to really think of. Guys, I forgot. I do have some college football news that I got to cover. I'll cover it at the end here. Okay. I will cover it at the end. It's something that I kind of skipped over. And we'll cover it at the end. Matthew Stafford, quarterback of the Rams, he is having a lot of back issues right now. And things are getting worse. So worse to the chance that we may not see him in week 1. I mean, you got to think, Matthew Stafford has been in the league for a very long time. And a lot of people thought 3 years ago after they won the Super Bowl that he was going to be done. Guy keeps going. I think it's time for the Rams to start really looking forward and moving forward and thinking about a quarterback replacement. Because Matthew Stafford, I'm telling you, back injuries are nothing to joke with, and they can get more serious than anything. So we'll see if Matthew Stafford's ready for week 1 or not. Tyrod Taylor, quarterback of the Jets, he underwent arthroscopic knee surgery, and he is going to miss the remainder of preseason. Now, he is the backup to Justin Fields out in New York. So, he's the backup, but you still need your backup just in case the starter goes down, right? We all know that. Tyrod Taylor is the backup. He's going to be ready for week 1. He's going to be good to go, but who knows? We'll have to see. Darius Slay, cornerback of the Steelers, he's dealing with an ankle injury. He's going to be day-to-day. So, Steelers fans, Darius Slay, he's a day-to-day guy. He'll probably be back on the field next week. I can see that. Shiloh Sanders, defensive back of the Buccaneers. Now, a lot of people probably heard this story. We're going to talk about it. He wanted to give his first preseason jersey to his dad, Dion, right? Well, Daddy Dion decided to say, no, kid, I don't want your jersey. So the kid said, you know what, Dad? Fuck it. I'm going to give it to Mom then. Some of the news that comes out throughout the week is just hilarious. Hilarious. But we got to talk about it, right? It's what it's news for. Dylan Gabriel, quarterback of the Browns. Okay, we talked about Dylan Gabriel a little earlier in the show. Apparently, the Browns are getting trade offers for him. I said that. Now, I talked about the Browns having a quarterback battle months ago. Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett. It was going to be a battle out in Cleveland. Just think if Dylan Gabriel got traded somewhere, the quarterback battle wouldn't be much of a battle anymore. Joe Flacco 1, Shedeur Sanders 2, Kenny Pickett 3. And I still think Kenny Pickett is the one that's going to get cut. But that's just me. Brandon Beane, GM of the Bills. He's hopeful come 2026 that James Cook is a Bill. That was part of the news. He's a Bill. I had that written down. I was just going down my list. But he's a Bill. He's a Bill. Yeah. Shedeur Sanders, quarterback of the Browns. He suffered a leg injury. He's going to be day-to-day. He didn't play in the preseason game yesterday against the Eagles. He is going to be day-to-day, though. Odell Beckham Jr., free agent wide receiver. He has no plans to retire. He actually thinks he's going to be a part of a team by week 2, week 3. So Odell Beckham Jr., he's rearing up to be part of the NFL season this year with somebody. Who knows? Lamar Jackson, quarterback of the Ravens, he officially dropped his trademark lawsuit against Troy Aikman over the number 8. Now, this is one thing that kind of caught my attention a little bit because I didn't know that players necessarily wanted to trademark their number. Okay? And I'm not trying to say this as a joke. I looked at this and I was like, I get there's certain players out there that make a certain number important. And as good as Lamar Jackson is, he is yet to hoist the Lombardi Trophy. I think the fight would have been more important and more valuable for him if he would have been able to raise a Lombardi already, which Troy Aikman has done, I believe, twice. 3 times. Okay. Then the fight would have been more to get that number. But you're just the number 8 for the Baltimore Ravens, who has gone to conference title games and lost. Divisional round playoffs, lost. Wild card round games, lost. Hoist that Lombardi. Then fight for that number. For the trademark. Because you want to do something with it. And that's understandable. There's a lot of players out there that do stuff for branding with their number. And you want to get the trademark for that. Right now, I think Troy Aikman would have a little more success with the number 8. And that's just me. I know Lamar Jackson is a very popular player. A lot of the younger fans love him and all that stuff. I get that. But when you look at it at the end of the day, all across the board, I think Troy Aikman might have a little more success with the number 8. That's just my opinion. But we'll have to see. Micah Parsons, linebacker of the Cowboys, nothing changed in his contract dispute out in Dallas. And I don't think anything's going to change. I don't. I want to hold that thought. Michael Penix Jr., quarterback of the Falcons, he got into a scuffle during joint practice with the Titans this past week. Hey, stand your ground, kid. That's all I got to say. You're a young player in the NFL. Don't do anything stupid that's going to cost you being off the field. I get it. Everything's intense right now. The season start, you're hitting other guys other than your teammates. But don't do anything that's going to cause you to get suspended and put your team in jeopardy come regular season. We are a week and a half away from the regular season. 2 weeks. We're 2 weeks away. About 2.5 weeks. Sorry. I forgot it's still the middle of August. 2.5 weeks away from kickoff. Hold your composure. That's all I got to say. Be careful with what you're doing on the field and off the field. But doing little scuffles that can get yourself suspended for 2 or 3 games, don't do that shit. Don't. Terry McLaurin, wide receiver of the Commanders, he moved off the PUP list yesterday. Still no word on anything with his contract, obviously. The Commanders, if you have the money, spend it. You didn't bring Deebo Samuels in for nothing. Okay? Deebo Samuels was supposed to be your number 2 guy next to Terry McLaurin. And you are now having issues with Terry McLaurin as far as contract disputes. I get it. I get these players. They want their money. If you have the money, spend it. Micah Parsons out in Dallas, spend it. Cincinnati with Trey Hendrickson, spend it. These are 3 key players for teams. Spend the money. Just like I was saying for Dallas, Micah Parsons hasn't gotten a contract yet. Trey Hendrickson, it is now announced today that trade offers, the Bengals are listening to trade offers for Trey Hendrickson now. A couple weeks ago, they weren't. They were like, no, he's going to be a Bengal. Well, guess what? Now they're listening to trade offers. Now they're telling teams, hey, guess what? If you want him, offer us something. That's what they're saying. They are taking trade offers for Trey Hendrickson. And I came on here a couple weeks ago and said the Bengals need to sign him. You finally got him to come to camp. You finally got him to show up after being on vacation in Florida. He is in your facilities. Throw a contract in front of him and get him. Get him there. Because right now, this is basically him.
I'm here so I won't get fined.
That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. So you're paying him already to be there. Extend him. He led the league in sacks, the last 2 seasons? Extend him. He wants to be there. Just like Micah Parsons. He wants to be in Dallas. But if you're not going to commit to him, then hey. And Jerry Jones, he was injured. Where was Dak? But yet you give him a bunch of money coming off of injuries. I don't get it. Got a little bit of more news, guys. We're going to take a 30-second break. I got 2 more pieces of news I want to talk about before we get the hell out of here today. But I want you guys to go follow the social medias right now. Go help us out. Help us build for the year 2025. We're going to take 30 seconds. So get this, guys. Go follow the social medias right now. If you can, please head over to the Twitch channel at the Huddle Hub Podcast. All the links are below in the profile over on the Twitch channel to take you to all of our social medias. Just hit that follow button on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. You don't have to pay anything. That's just the way to follow over on YouTube and help us build the channel going into the 2025 NFL season and beyond. We would definitely appreciate you guys doing so. Some news that just came out that came across the board from here. The Green Bay Packers are apparently rumored to offer Dallas a trade for Micah Parsons. It includes 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick. Dallas, take it. Take it. There's a bunch of talk about Micah Parsons possibly going to Green Bay. There's been a lot of talk about that. There has, and I was just about to bring that up too, and this comes across my board. Take the deal. You're getting 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick. Maybe a player gets thrown in there. Maybe. Take the deal. Let Micah go. That's bottom line. That's bottom line. Let him go. You ain't going to sign him. You ain't going to extend him. Let him go. Now, like I said, I had a little bit of news coming out of college football. This is also a rankings thing coming out of pro football. Coaching hot seat for 2025 in college football. Brent Venable out of Oklahoma. He's on the hot seat. Hugh Freeze from Auburn. Sam Pittman from Arkansas. Billy Napier from Florida. Luke Fickell from Wisconsin. Lincoln Riley from USC. And Caleb DeBoer is a honorable mention from Alabama. All coaches on the hot seat this year. So you got, okay, let's see here. So Alabama, who is going into the season ranked number 8, coaches on the hot seat. Okay. I thought USC was on this deal. They're not. Florida, they are ranked number 15. Their coaches on the hot seat. That's insane. Okay. Nobody else. But 2 ranked teams have coaches on the hot seat right now in college football, which means they are not expected to do much of anything, I guess. They just start off as a ranked team because they had a good year last year. But the expectations of these teams doing good, you think that their team, their coach, that they're going to do so bad, their coach is going to get fired? I made it that time. Who knows? A little bit of a ranking thing coming out of the NFL. Travis Kelce, he's on the top 100 list for the since 2016. He's been on the top 100 list. Here's some statistical thing, okay? In 2016, he was number 91 out of 100, okay? 2017, he moved up to number 26. That's a plus 65 difference in rankings in the top 100 as players. In 2018, he was number 24. That's another plus 2. In 2019, he was number 21. That's another plus 3. Okay. In 2020, he was number 18, which is another plus 3 from the previous year. In 2021, he was ranked number 5. That's a plus 13 from the year before. And then in 2022, he was number 10. That's a minus 5 from the year before. In 2023, he was ranked number 5. That's a plus 5 from the year previous. Same as 2 years before. In 2024, he was number 9. That was a negative 5 from the year before. And in 2025, ranked 37th, which is a 28 spot drop from the previous year. Travis Kelce staying in that big part of the top 100, which is crazy. But, you know, he's in the twilight of his career. He is. I should just leave this banner up. I don't know why I don't keep it. Preseason week 2. Some of the scores coming out of preseason week 2. The Titans defeated the Falcons 23-20. The Seahawks defeated the Chiefs 33-16. Dolphins defeated the Lions 24-17. The Texans defeated the Panthers 20-3. Packers defeated the Colts 23-19. The Patriots defeated the Vikings 20-12. The Browns defeated the Eagles 22-13. The 49ers 22-19 over the Raiders. The Ravens 31-13 over the Cowboys. The Rams defeated the Chargers 23-22. The Giants defeated the Jets 31-12. The Steelers got beat by the Buccaneers 17-14. Broncos won 27-7 over the Cardinals. And the Jaguars and Saints tied at 17. There's a game tonight on Sunday Night Football, the Bills and the Bears. And on Monday night, the Bengals play the Commanders. It's preseason week 2 right there. Coming to a close tonight and tomorrow. I might watch that Bills game tonight. I might watch that Bills-Bears game. It's going to be on national television on Fox, and then the Monday Nighters on ESPN tomorrow night. So it's preseason week 2. So, well, guys, that's all I got for you today. That's it. 60 minutes, in and out. We're going to get it done. And that's all there is to it. You can follow me on Instagram, X, TikTok, Snapchat, at MetalMike714. That's where you can find me. I will be live tomorrow night over on the Rivet City Radio Twitch and Off the Top Media YouTube channel for the Table Spot with Cam. And then on Wednesday night with Cam and Phil over on the Boom on both Rivet City Radio's Twitch and Off the Top Media's YouTube channel. So please go over to those and follow those and hit the subscribe button and everything you can do to follow and check out the live shows. It would definitely be appreciated as we talk about the world of professional wrestling. Table Spot is going to follow up Monday Night Raw, and the Boom follows up AEW Dynamite. You go check out the Huddle podcast over on YouTube right now, as you can check out the recordings of every show every week. So this show will be posted on Tuesday. Okay. I'll have it cut and posted and everything for you guys to check out the replay on Tuesday. John will be back next week as we spotlight the AFC, the whole AFC, every AFC division. And then on August 31st is our prediction show as we predict every team, how they're going to do in 2020, what we think they're going to do in 2024. We're also going to do the playoffs and ultimately tell you guys who we think is going to be hoisting the Lombardi Trophy after Super Bowl 60. So come join us for the next 2 weeks and beyond. Make sure you're hitting that follow button over on all of our social medias. It would definitely be appreciated on X, YouTube, and TikTok at The Huddle Pod, on Twitch at The Huddle Podcast. That's all I got for you guys today. I appreciate you guys stopping out. As I always say, be good to each other, be kind to each other, take care of each other, be patient with each other. Remember, the world is not moving as fast as you think. We'll see y'all next week. I'm out. Deuces.